Vento picks up her third RBI of the game to go along with her 3 doubles. She's 3 for 4, and she's out there at second base for Gia Raskowski. Morris took third, but then was thrown out on the play on a 4-2-6-2-5 at home plate on a play the Beacons thought that Morris might have just gotten in there. And that's actually a 4-2-6-2-5-2. Try saying that 3 times fast. 1-2 to Raskowski, and another foul ball. So the Beacons get the run back, and it's 5-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Jess Greenspan awaits on deck. Ball is hit to the left side. Plazinski, a long throw to first. It's not. Oh, they call her out. It appeared as if she was already on the bag, and that's a call that the Beacons fans don't like. It appeared as if Raskowski was already at the bag when the ball got there. And the Beacons are going to contend this. Honestly, I would say the home plate umpire in this situation has the better view as he's down the line. The base umpire is as far away as he can possibly get. We'll see if they change it. I don't think they're going to. You so rarely see that. But this was the case where we don't have replay. We do have recorded video. I think the umpires got this one wrong. I think they've done a great job today, but they're going to keep the out. So the Beacons limited to the 1 run. And before we take you to the top of the 7th, we'll take a look around the rest of the LEC. Before we get to the top of the 7th, we'll take a look around the rest of the conference. Southern Maine leads Eastern Connecticut State 2-0 in the 6th. That middle game, Plymouth State's having technical difficulties. 4-0 in the 3rd was the last time we got a score. Keene State, the only final thus far, a 2-1 win. Keene State moves to 7-6. Dartmouth, who was already in 7th place, moves to 4-7. Dartmouth likely needs to win 2 of their last 3, if not all 3 of their last 3 games. Game 2 against Keene and 2 tomorrow at Southern Maine, or 2 at home tomorrow against Southern Maine. Otherwise, that might be it for the Corsairs, who last year finished 2nd in the conference in the LEC regular season. So we've got a pinch hitter to start the 7th for Western Connecticut State. It's going to be Amanda Gonzalez. So Amanda, who made all those great plays in the dugout on the hard-hit foul balls by Raskowski, will get a chance here. The junior out of Putnam Valley, New York. Played her freshman year at Fairleigh Dickinson. Hits it softly over to Morse, thrown across, and that's all the time we've got for Amanda, who grounds out softly for the first out of the 7th, with the Beacons leading 5-1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 10, Jenna Gaudioso.
Jenna Gaudioso, the team's 9-hole hitter, steps up. A big swing and a miss. Gaudioso was called for batter's interference. Had her foot on home plate when she was trying to bunt in the 3rd, and then popped up to 2nd in the 5th. Shows bunt here, a good one on the left side. Greenspan fields, not going to have time to throw. And Gaudioso is aboard with 1 out, as that's just the 5th hit of the game for Western Connecticut State, with 3 of the 5 not leaving the infield. Got a final from Monin Park. The baseball team has their first 6-game winning streak of the year, a 10-4 win over Plymouth State in game number 1. The baseball team moves to 8-3 in conference play. Still in the hunt just like their softball counterparts for the number 1 seed, but just like the Beacon softball team, need to win and need to get a little bit of help. Tori Dugan take the first pitch for a strike and then jumped out of the way of that one. Would have hit her otherwise. See if Dugan puts down a bunt. She is 2 for 3, popped up a bunt in the first, had a bunt single in the third, and then had an infield single to third in the fifth, and stole second base for her conference leading 14th steal in 16 attempts. She's behind the count 1-2 with one out. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout for Greenspan. That's number 3 for Jess. And there's 2 down for Alexander LaFemina as Western Connecticut State tries to keep their 11-game win streak intact against UMass Boston. And an update from track and field, as that one is just a little bit high. The Beacons now have 5 gold medals, 3 of them from one athlete. Waddle Jonathas, the Beacons' national champion in the 400, has already won the 100-meter, the 400-meter, and the long jump in her first outdoor track and field championship. Not too bad for the freshman from Haiti. This is pitch number 100 from Greenspan, who has worked economically. A 2-0 count to LaFemina with the runner on first, taking all the way, 2-1. Gaudioso's over there at first base, reached on a bunt single. Western needs to score at least 4 here with 2 down to tie or take the lead. Morse in at second. 2-1 pitch over the head of Morse, and Western still has life after the single from LaFemina. 2 on, 2 outs, and we'll see if we get a pinch hitter here. We've already seen 3 players in this spot. And we're going to see our 4th. Natalia Hart will check out, and it's Michaela Demore. Demore, the freshman out of Poughkeepsie, New York. Attended Franklin Delano Roosevelt High School, making her 14th appearance. She was 0 for 12 heading into Thursday with 7 strikeouts. Then game 2 happened. 3 for 3, a run scored, 4 RBI, and a double. This is potentially a hot bat for Western. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Behind 0-1. Gaudioso's at second. LaFemina at first. Demore on the year, making her 14th appearance. 10 starts, hitting .214, 3 of 14 overall. Swings and misses at the second pitch. It's 0-2. Greenspan looking to wrap up her 6th conference win and her 16th overall win of the year. The previous program record was 13. Greenspan already with 15. And the playoffs still to come. 0-2 pitch coming with 2 down and 2 on, and able to take that one was Demore. A good job by the freshman. I don't even have room in my score sheet for Demore. 4th player to bat or see time in this three-hole for Western. 1-2, swung on and missed. Greenspan with a pair of strikeouts in the inning, and UMass Boston snaps an 11-game losing streak against Western. They earned just their 4th win all-time against the Colonials, and more importantly, they're the first team to 8 wins in conference. The Beacons looking for a potential sweep on Senior Day and a chance to possibly host the LEC tournament. Right now, we're going to wrap up this broadcast. We'll take a break and bring you Game 2 on a different broadcast link. You have to exit out and then head back in. The Beacons win 5-1. The player of the game, I think it's pretty easy. Roxanne Vento, 3 for 4. Set the program record for doubles with her first inning double, then added 2 more. Had 3 doubles in the game, 2 RBI, as the Beacons winning it by a 5-1 score, snapping an 11-game losing streak. Last year had just 2 runs against the Colonials. And I'd like to take a moment to thank our production crew. They're going to be with us for both games, and they did such a great job here in Game 1. My name is Seth Dorensky, your director, or your producer and play-by-play guy. Sarah Alenardo, keeping you up to date, and Rachel Mayette, the eyes for the broadcast, as always, doing a great job. That'll do it for Game 1. We'll start game 2 in about 20 minutes. First pitch should be about 25 to 30 minutes. The Beacons take the first one 5-1 to snap a long losing streak against the Colonials. Hello and welcome back for game number 2. My name is Seth Dorensky. We're about to get underway. First, we'll bring you the numbers on the Beacons Game 2 starter. It's Annie Thomas, the ace of last year who struggled with arm injuries throughout the season, earned her first conference win of the season yesterday by going 2 1/3 innings, allowing just 5 hits and 2 runs, a 4.94 ERA on the year. She was the Beacons ace a season ago, pitched them throughout the LEC tournament. As the first pitch is bunted over to third, Tully can't get there in time, and it's an infield single. 4, as I literally just got the Western Connecticut State lineup within the last 30 seconds, that's Tori Dugan, who had 2 hits in game number 1. Dugan will continue to hit leadoff and play second base, to be followed by Alexandra LaFemina, who also hit second in game number 1 for Western, who fell 5-1. The Beacons snapping an 11-game losing streak against the Colonials. Could be a bunt situation. Great speed from Dugan at first. LaFemina, good speed as well. Takes a bunt, thrown on to first, faked, and Raskowski holds on to it. For the Beacons defensively, it's the same lineup for the most part. Kira Pressmack in left, Taylor Paulina in center. The big change is Giovanna Benillas in right, with Raskowski moving from right to catcher and Vento moving from catcher to DP. Bunt is popped up. Tully makes the play in foul territory, and the throw will not be in time. But another popped up bunt. Seen that a couple times today by Western, and that'll keep the runner at first base with 1 down. As LaFemina pops it up to the third baseman. Big change here as Cam Geisen, who hit much lower in the order in game 1, hits in the 3-hole here in game number 2. Geisen, who went 0 for 2 with a walk, a pair of groundouts, moves from the 7 spot to the 3-hole here in game 2. Geisen takes the first pitch outside, 1-0 to Geisen. Geisen takes that one low. 2-0 now to the catcher and 3-hole hitter. Dugan over there at first base had a steal in her only attempt in game 1. She's 14 for 16, leads the conference. Raskowski in foul territory makes the play behind the plate. And after a pair of pop-outs, there's 2 down with the runner on first for Charlene Plazinski. Plazinski came into the day as the conference's leader in RBI and close to the conference lead in almost every other category. She had a quiet game number 1, started the day 0 for 2, including a strikeout with the bases loaded to end the 3rd before doubling in the 6th to the wall and right and coming in to score on a sac fly. Taking off is Dugan, and the throw to second not in time. Dugan has stolen a pair of bags today, and she's at second now for Plazinski in scoring position with 2 outs. Raskowski has a phenomenal arm, but not able to get Dugan, who went 32 of 33 a year ago at Riviere. That is real speed. 47 steals in 2 years as Plazinski fouls off the second pitch to even the count at 1-1. So the 1, 2, and 4-hole hitters stay the same for Western. Kayla Nowak stays in the 5-hole. Sophia Palacio stays in the 6-hole. Gaudioso moves up from 9th to 7th. Sarah Tenke, the pitcher who came on in relief in game number 1, will hit for herself in the 8-hole. So that one bounces up there. Taking off for third, the throw, and it is not in time. I don't think that Tully ever got the tag down. Obstructed by the umpire from our spot. And the 9-hole hitter is Brittany Stankovic, who came on defensively in game number 1. Did not have an at-bat. She'll hit 9th with Kayla Jessup in the flex spot playing third. 2-1 now after the steal and then the wild pitch. And there's a runner at third here for Plazinski. Thomas, if she wants to, can be selective here with 2 bases open and Plazinski having so much power. Thomas looking for the sign from Raskowski. The 3-1. That one's low at the knees for ball 4. Plazinski didn't know it was ball 4. The umpire didn't point down towards first base, and there's a pair of runners on base for Kalen Nowak. Nowak, the first baseman. Thomas looks to strand a pair here in the top of the first. First pitch is in there. Runner takes off. Raskowski fakes the throw, and Plazinski takes second. (0-1) to Nowak, who was taking all the way there. Hoping that the Beacons would potentially get caught in the double steal situation, allowing the run to score. That one is off the corner. Seen a big difference in the strike zones from our Game 1 umpire to our Game 2 umpire. Umpires change in between games. David Hawley is now behind the plate with Steve Kolitz on the bases. It's a pretty tight strike zone thus far. 1-1 pitch. That one is in there. 1-2 to Nowak. Thomas trying to work around the leadoff bunt single and the 2-out walk to Plazinski. Ball is hit out to short right center, and coming in, it's Bonilla won't make the catch, and Plazinski is going to take off. Raskowski, the tag is in time. Caitlin Morse guns out Plazinski, who was looking to get opportunistic, and that keeps the score at 1-0, but it is a 1-0 lead as Nowak able to put that ball in front of Bonilla, who was slow to get it in. Morse took the short throw from Bonilla and gunned out Plazinski to keep the game at 1-0 through half an inning. It'll be Kira Pressmack to be followed by Caitlin Morse and Roxanne Vento to start the bottom half of the first after Western got one run in the top of the first before the trail runner Charlene Plazinski was thrown out trying to score. Sarah Tenke, who came on and threw the final 2 innings in game number 1, gave up 1 unearned run, gets the start. Ball hit softly to Plazinski. The throw across is in time, and Pressmack is retired 6-3. This is a kind of a must-win game for both teams. If the Beacons win this one, they'll move to 9 wins, and they'll pretty much ensure that they'll be at least the top 3 seed. If things go their way, they could be the top seed. For Western, if they lose this game, they cannot win the regular season title, which entering this weekend was their goal. At 7-3, a game ahead of Eastern, who came in at 6-4, they were the favorites, but the Beacons win this one. The best that Western could finish is 9-5, an identical record with the Beacons, and the Beacons would have the head-to-head record with a sweep, but that's only if the Beacons win this game. Caitlin Morse is even the count at 1-1. Second baseman was hit by a pitch in game number 2 and scored as part of a 3-run 5th inning. Two, one, swung on and missed. Tenke in that game number 1 went 2 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 unearned run, struck out 1. After Angelina Miller went 4+, allowing 4 runs, 2 earned. This Western defense last in the league with a .915 fielding percentage. They committed 4 errors in that game 1, with 2 of the Beacons' 5 runs coming unearned. Full count pitch, hit out to left field. LaFemina going back on it, and she'll make the play for the second out of the inning. Morse got a good piece of it, but unable to put it down in front or over the head of LaFemina. And there's 2 down for the Beacons. The Beacons 3 all-hitter and DP Roxanne Vento. All Vento did in game number 1. 3 for 4 with 3 RBI, 3 doubles. Setting the program record with her 15th, 16th, and 17th. That one is hit out to short left. Plazinski ranges out onto the edge of the grass and makes the play. The Beacons go 1-2-3 in the first. We head to the second. Western holds a 1-0 lead. Sophia Palacios, the designated player, leads off the second inning. Hits it hard, but right at the shortstop, Braga. 1 pitch, 1 out for Western Connecticut State, who scored a run in the first on a bunt single, a stolen base, a walk, a stolen base, and a softly hit single out to right off the bat of Kayla Nowak. Palacios will be followed here by Jenna Gaudioso, the right fielder, who moves up from the 9-hole to the 7-hole, showing bunt, pulls it back on the rise ball. And the final batter due up in this inning, if it does go 1-2-3, would be the pitcher, Sarah Tenke, hitting for herself. Breaking ball on the inside half, 1-1. This is the problem with these double headers, as the bunt is put down. Thomas will field her position, throw over to Morse, and there's 2 outs. That'll go for a 1-4 on the bunt. Problem with these double headers is that there's so little time in between the double headers. Typically, the coaches give us the lineups at the last possible second. Takes a little while to get the lineups fully inserted into our scorebooks. The first pitch from Tenke's fouled off. First time we've seen Sarah at the plate today. Hitting .217 on the season, 13 of 60, 5 runs scored, 4 doubles, and 3 RBI. She's a pretty tall player. Looks like she has some power. Tenke listed at 5'9" out of Glen Cove, New York. One of the team's top 3 pitchers and player who sees a fair amount of at-bats. The 1-1 offering coming from Thomas, who's taking a while here. And her 1-1 is a little bit low there off the outside corner. Tenke ahead in the count. We'll see if she's given the green light. Western trying to add to their lead. This is their first lead of the day. They trailed 1-0 heading into the 5th. Beacon's got 4 runs to make it 5-1. As that one is popped up in foul territory. Long run and just out of the reach of Braga. Couldn't quite get there in foul territory. Got to give Gigi credit. She always is going at 1 speed, and that's 100%. Just couldn't quite reach that one. 2-2 now with 2 down. No one on here in the second. .1-0 Western lead. That one's on the outside corner. Thomas gets the strikeout looking. Can the Beacons get her some run support? It will be 4-5-6 for UMass Boston as they work against Tenke for the second time around here in game number 2. 4th total inning for the freshman lefty. Well, we've got a moment. Let's bring you the defensive alignment for Western. Alexander LaFemina in left, Brittany Stankovic in center, Jenna Gaudioso in right. Similar looking infield, Kayla Jessup at third, Charlene Plazinski at short, Tori Dugan at second, Kayla Nowak at first. Behind the plate, it's Cam Geisen, and pitching is Sarah Tenke, who gets Gia Razkowski to do what else? Foul off to the right side. Gia has seen more pitches than anybody else today. She's 0 for 2, but does have a run scored and a pair of walks. She worked a pair of really deep walks in the first game. That ball's fouled off down the right field side. And making the catch in foul territory is Nowak, as the Beacons still looking for that first base runner of game 2. It'll bring up Taylor Paulina, the Beacons sophomore center fielder. Taylor went 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout in game number 1. Reached in her first 2 at-bats. Looking to start things up here in the bottom of the second against Sarah Tenke. 1-0 pitch, fouled in and out of the glove, back to the stop of Geisen. Tenke came into today's action with a 4.67 ERA, 5-5 record, making her 12th start. Tied with Jacqueline Smith, who we have yet to see today. I don't know if Heather Stone is saving Smith for tomorrow because maybe Smith can't go on multiple days in a row, or if she's just maybe saving Smith for relief, who did come in with the team high in appearances and starts. Ball's chopped foul. Tenke had allowed 80 hits, 74 runs, 44 earned, team high 52 strikeouts and 34 walks in her 66 innings of work. Even in the count here with Taylor Paulina at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch, Paulina fouls it off, and that one will get back off the wall of the Clark Athletic Center Gymnasium. Really, from the softball field, within seconds you can get to the ice hockey rink or the basketball gym. You can even see the baseball field, centrally located. Pitch is popped up, a rise ball, and making the catch is Geisen, just outside the Beacons dugout for the second out of the inning. The Beacons a pair of foul pops on the right side. Bring up Alyssa Tully. Tully, the sophomore third baseman, had a lull, went 1 for 3 in game 1.
Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Alyssa Tully.
First pitch to Alyssa is hit hard out to right center. That one is at least a single, possibly more. Tully's going to round first. She's got her 6th double of the season standing up, and she's out there at second base with the Beacons' first base runner against Sarah Tenke in game 2. Taking it the opposite way, that's where both of her hits have been. And Tully's in scoring position with 2 down. Bring up Lauren Mitziaris, one of the Beacons' 3 seniors who will be honored after game number 2. Looking for a senior day sweep as Mitziaris hits it out to short right. This could be trouble coming in, and making the play is the right fielder Gaudioso as she collided with the second baseman. That could have been real trouble. Instead, the Beacons leave a runner in scoring position as Gaudioso makes the catch, and the Beacons leave a runner in the second. We head to the third. Western leads 1-0. Folks, we'll take a look at the LEC games going around right now. Southern Maine beating Eastcon is big for both UMass Boston and Western. Eastern falls to 6-5. If they win their last 3, which would be a win today against Southern Maine in game 2 that hasn't started yet, and then a couple of wins tomorrow, they would be the number 1 seed, but it's asking a lot. Plymouth State looking for the sweep. They could get to 8 wins, and then Keene State and Dartmouth. So bringing you the updated LEC standings as the bunt is down the third baseline, foul. Good work there from Tully, recognizing it was going to be a difficult play. Brittany Stankovic, who came on as a defensive replacement for 3 innings in game 1 before being pulled and never getting an at-bat, will see her first at-bat of the day. Stankovic making her 30th appearance with just 4 starts. 3 for 17 on the year with 9 runs scored and an RBI. It's 0-1 to the 9-hole hitter. Pulls back the bunt. So the updated standings read as follow. UMass Boston at 8-5 has the most wins. Western at 7-4 is just behind them in terms of winning percentage. Eastern's at 6-5, 2 wins behind the Beacons, but with the same amount of losses. So that pitch is on the corner. It's 1-2 to Stankovic. Plymouth State and Keene State College stand just behind the top 3 at 7-6. Plymouth leading in game 2. 8-6 could sit them in the top 3 depending on how everything else works out. Southern Maine's the team to watch. 6-5 with 3 games left. If they sweep out, Stankovic takes a strike 3 looking. Second consecutive batter to go down by way of the backwards K. If Southern Maine wins their game 2 against Eastern, that would be really bad for the Warriors, but really good for Southern, who would head into tomorrow's doubleheader against UMass Dartmouth at 7-5 with a chance to get to 9 wins. And finally, UMass Dartmouth at 4-7. They need to win their last 3 to get in. Rhode Island College at 3-10. Well, they're just finishing the season off with no chance of making the LEC tournament. So we'll keep you abreast of the other games going on. Remember, we won't have a champion today in the regular season. Have to wait till tomorrow's results, but the Beacons with the win here can guarantee at least a home game on Tuesday and a potential number 1 seed with some help tomorrow. It is 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter, Dugan, who put a bunt single down the third base line, stole second, moved to third on a wild pitch, as she bunts that one off her own foot. It'll go to 1-2, and then came in to score on a 2-out single from Kayla Nowak. One and 2 to Dugan, who has 3 hits, 2 steals, and one of the team's 2 runs on the day as the Beacons won game 1 5-1. The 1-2 offering from Thomas fouled back to the stop. This is Thomas's second start of the LEC season. Last weekend she got roughed up a bit against Rhode Island College. Pitched really well through the first 3 innings, but ended up giving up 8 hits and 5 runs, all 5 in the 4th, as she was pulled after 3 2/3. On the outside corner, the 3rd consecutive batter to strike out looking, and this is looking a bit more like the Annie Thomas of a year ago. Annie pitched the first 2 days of the season, then went down with shoulder soreness, pitched just one more time in Florida and came off the field in a lot of pain, and then has barely pitched since, but was one of the top pitchers in the conference in the Beacons' workhorse a year ago. Good to see her pitching more and more as the Beacons try to take some of the pressure off of Jess Greenspan, who has been simply phenomenal this year as a freshman. It's 0-1 to Alexandra LaFemina, who popped up a bunt in the first. The 0-1, well low, 1-1. LaFemina in that first game went 1 for 3 with a walk. Alexandra is a speedy threat as well. She has 7 steals coming into this one, had 20 plus a year ago. Ball's fouled back to the stop, and Thomas is 1 strike away potentially from striking out the side. She struck out 3 in a row and is now retired 5 in a row since giving up that RBI single. The pitch, a little bit high with the rise ball. Couldn't get her to chase. 2-2 now to the Western left fielder, one of just 3 returners from last year's championship team in the starting lineup. Brought back 10 total players, but just 3 players who were huge key players to that team, as they had a ton of seniors on last year's squad. Ball's popped up on the infield. Tully can't make the play. Did it touch her? The umpire behind the plate says no, and we'll do it again. That was a key play there, because if it touches Tully, it's fair ball, and LaFemina's on base as they look for some more softballs. We've seen quite a few balls fouled off the last couple batters. And Palacios will hand the home plate umpire, David Hawley, a few more. Femina trying to get something started here. Western had a pair of hits and a walk in the first. Nothing since then. Had a runner gunned down at the plate with 2 down in the first to end that inning. Ooh, just a little high there. Did she go? She did not. The count runs full. I thought that pitch might be on the corner. Instead, Hawley thought that LaFemina was close to have gone around. Full count, 2 outs, top of the 3rd. Western leads by a run. Thomas looks in. 3-2 offering. Popped up on the infield. Should be playable. Mitziaris makes the play in foul territory. And Western goes down 1-2-3 for a second consecutive inning. UMass Boston coming up. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Beacons as they try for win number 5 all time against the Western Connecticut State Colonials. Eight, 9-1 for the Beacons. A trio of freshmen, Giovanna Bonilla, Gigi Braga, and Kira Pressmack. Giovanna Bonilla broke out of a season-long slump yesterday. 2 for 3 with her first collegiate RBI in game number 1. The Beacons managed just 7 hits in a game 1, 7-2 loss to Southern Maine. Their worst loss, if you can believe it, since coming back from Florida. Their first loss of more than 2 or 3 runs. Bonilla out of Queens, New York, 5 for 35 on the season, making just her 13th start. Ari Bellata saw her come out with an injury in game 1. Has been dealing with the back injury all season long, and the Beacons not risking it here with the LEC tournament starting Tuesday. Bonilla, a tremendous defensive player, has 2 walks on the season. 0-1 to Giovanna, and that one is apparently on the corner. Looks like the catcher Geising had to reframe the ball to bring it down, but still gave Sarah Tenke the benefit of the doubt. Tenke looks in. 0-2, fouled off. Good defensive swing from Bonilla to stay alive. The Beacons have managed just 1 hit here in the first 2 innings. A 2-out double from Alyssa Tully. Beacons, for much of this season, have had an MO of not doing so well the first time around. That one is maybe a little bit low. Looked better than strike 2, but again, Geisen tried to bring this one up and doesn't get the call. So the count runs to 1-2. Beacons struggled through the first time around and then would come around the second time. Softly hit back to Tenke, who fields her position, throws it over to first. And Bonilla is retired for the first out of the inning. We'll bring up the Beacons' 9-hole hitter, Gigi Braga, who was in the 1 or the 2 spot for much of the season. Has struggled as of late, so she moves down to the 9-hole. Gigi went 1 for 2 with a strikeout in game number 1. A perfect bunt single. Takes that one low. Believe her bunt single came against Sarah Tenke. Can look that one up for you with a little bit of rearranging. Braga did have a single in the 6th, so that would have been against Tenke. And that one is a difficult play. Gets under Plazinski, and that'll go for Braga's second hit of the day. Second hit against Plazinski, and she's on with 1 out. Beat threat over there at first base with 7 steals in 8 attempts. Bring up Kira Pressmack. Pressmack came in hitting .580 in conference play. She bunts that one up, and a diving effort from Geisen for the second out. Geisen full extension, and the ball stayed up there. Put a nice little star next to that play as Cam Geisen keeps Gigi Braga over there at first base with 2 down now.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Caitlin Morse.
Bring up Caitlin Morse, who lined out to left her first time up. Takes it at the knee on the inside half for strike 1. Morse is closing in on the program record for career games played and career at bats. If the Beacons make a nice long tournament run, she could do both of those. Trying to break a couple of records from her assistant coach. Sue Killalay, who played back in the 2008 to 2011. Not quite sure what those are called. The late zeros. That one's inside. It's 2-1. And Braga's taking off. Geisen never threw the ball. It's a stolen base. And Gigi Braga picks up her 8th stolen base of the year. She's in scoring position on the heads-up play. Geisen was just a little bit slow, and the throw wide of the bag as Braga puts herself in scoring position with 2 down. Could easily score here with a single. Morris chops it up the middle, but Dugan in a perfect position. Otherwise, that's into center field. Dugan playing right next to the bag, and the Beacons are retired in the 3rd. So Tenke gives up the 1-out single and the steal, but able to keep the Beacons scoreless. We head to the 4th. This one's flying. It's 1-0 Western. While we've got a second, let's take a look around the rest of Beaconville. It's been a great weekend thus far. The lacrosse team a 14-9 win last night to wrap up their best regular season finish. Baseball took the first game 10-4 against Plymouth State. They lead 1-0 in the second on a Chris Fowler RBI ground out. Men's tennis looking to wrap up the LEC regular season perfect there at Bridgewater State. And the track and field team, last time I checked, has won at least 5, if not 6 gold medals thus far, as the Beacons outdoor track and field teams compete at Westfield State in the Little East Conference NASCAC Alliance Championship meet. Top of the 4th, we'll see if Western can add to their lead. They work against Annie Thomas, who has not been going that deep in games. This is the question. The second time around, she'll face off against 3, 4, 5 here. Cam Geisen, who made that tremendous diving play behind the plate to catch the pop-up bunt from Presmack, followed by Charlene Plazinski and Kayla Nowak. Ball's hit out towards deep left, and going back on it and unable to make the play is Presmack. The throw to short, the chance to get her, and the Beacons don't recognize it. That's going to go as an E7, as Presmack might have jumped on a ball she didn't need to, and then not recognizing that Geisen was taking off for second allows her to move over to second with no outs. See a pinch runner for Geisen. And it'll be Alyssa Barcombe, who we saw in game number 1, come on to pinch run. Charlene Plazinski, the conference's top RBI producer, doesn't have one yet today, steps up, takes the first pitch strike. Plazinski had a double and a run scored in game 1. She walked, stole second, and was thrown out trying to score on Kayla Nowak's RBI single to end the first. It's 0-1 here to Plazinski with the runner on second. Shows bunt, pulls it back as Barcombe will head back to the bag. Barcombe, a freshman out of East Haven, Connecticut, won the Class L state title as a junior, making her 17th appearance, primarily a pinch runner. We're going to see a counsel at the mound. One pitch coming to the freshman shortstop. Shows bunt, bunts it foul. This is a rare situation where Plazinski asked to put down a bunt. With just a 1-0 game, it makes sense. And it's now 1-2 to Plazinski. The 1-2 hit fouled on the right side. That would have been enough to move Barcombe over to third, if not for the fact that it was in foul territory. Remember, Western will play 2 home games tomorrow against Eastern Connecticut State. A huge rivalry with potentially the LEC regular season title on the line. The Beacons hoping to take Western out of contention. Ball gets away from Raskowski, and that's going to go for a pass ball, as Raskowski couldn't handle it. Now the error and the pass ball have put a runner on third with no outs. And Plazinski, even with the deep fly ball, could double the Colonials' lead right here. Count is 2-2 to Plazinski, who came in with 40-plus RBI in the deck. Fouls one over our head. Big battle between 2 underclassmen here in the 4th. Two, foul down the right side, and that one's going to be well out of play. Nice little battle right now between Plazinski and Thomas. Don't expect Thomas to go the whole way. She hasn't thrown a complete game since the second day of the season. But Beacons would love to get her another inning or two before they go to Megan Holman, who's been splitting time with Thomas in game 2s. The 2-2 pitch inside, count runs full. Runner at third is Barcombe. She pinch ran for Cam Geisen after Geisen hit a deep ball just short of the track, and Kira Pressmack jumped up and dropped it. Three-two pitch popped up foul. It's going to get out of play. And oh, by the way, as we keep you updated, Waddle Jonathan just won her 5th gold medal of the day, winning the 1, the 2, the 4, the long jump, and the 4x1. This girl might be pretty good. 3-2 pitch. Thomas has been battling with Plazinski for the past couple minutes. Runner moved up to third on the pass ball. 3-2 pitch popped up, and another foul ball that'll get out of play. Plazinski's hit maybe 1 or 2 of these hard, just hasn't been able to put the ball in fair territory. The Beacons are conceding the run if it's hit up the middle. Plazinski being such a good hitter. Her only hit of the day was a double. She's 1 for 3 with a walk. Ball is hit out to right, but well foul. And Charlene nearly put that one in the parking lot. Charlene out of Bristol, Connecticut. She's in the midst of a 12-game hitting streak where she's 18 for 36, 500, 17 RBI, and 12 runs scored. Looking to extend that streak right now. Pitch is high. She works her second walk, and there's runners at the corners with no outs. Winning the lengthy battle. Now, the big thing here, if you're a Beacons fan, is the run at third is concerning, but if Western can make this a 2, 3, 4-run inning, then you're in a really tough spot. The Beacons have already set the program record for LEC wins with their Game 1 win. They beat the 2010 team with their 8th win. But the 9th win is the big one right now. A 9th win could potentially put the Beacons in a spot where they could host the entire LEC tournament. First pitch to Nowak. Plazinski took a big lead but didn't take off. Wouldn't be surprised to see Plazinski take off on a double steal, trying to allow the lead runner to score. Although with no outs, maybe they play it a little bit conservatively here, trying to play for a big inning. The 0-1 pitch to Nowak, who already has an RBI single. It's a squeeze play, a suicide. Raskowski to Tully. The runner's tagged out, and Plazinski moves up to second, but the lead runner is thrown out, and it'll go down as a 2-5 caught stealing. So Western went the exact opposite of what I was saying. They go extremely aggressive, go for a suicide squeeze, and Alyssa Barcombe, the pinch runner, is thrown out. Plazinski takes second on the throw, and there's a runner at second with 1 down. It's Nowak. Takes it a little bit high there. 2-1 to Nowak, who had the RBI single back in the first. That's the only hit that Thomas has allowed since the first inning. She's given up just 2 hits. Pitch is hit just past Tully at third base. Pressmack is going to field it. The throw will be to short. The runner taking up for second. The tag is in there. Not in time. Caitlin Morris can't believe it. The throw beat her. And the Beacons all astonished by that as Nowak with her second RBI hit in as many at-bats. And it's 2-0 Western as Tully couldn't quite get there. And then the runner taking second.
Number 85, Sophia Palacios.
So there's a runner on second. Nowak with the RBI double. She's 2 for 2 with 2 RBI. And now it's Sophia Palacios. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 with Nowak at second. Palacios, the DP, lined out to shortstop in her first at-bat of game 2. Pops that one up foul. Thomas has thrown a lot of pitches already. This will be the 50th pitch from Thomas here in the 4th inning. Ball is flared out towards the right side and foul. The facilities crew did a pretty good job with the field today. Looks good. Getting a lot of exercise in. Walking all over the place trying to pick up balls. Western scored a run in the first, another one in the 4th. A pair of RBI hits from Kayla Nowak. She's at second with 1 down. Palacios holds off on the 0-2 pitch. It's 1-2. Western looking for a huge split. The Beacons hoping for their second comeback win in as many days. The 1-2, Palacios gets a piece, and it stays there. Thomas looks in, the sign, the 1-2, on the outside corner, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the game for Thomas, and there's now 2 down for Jenna Gaudioso.
Number 10, Jenna Gaudioso.
Jenna Gaudioso steps up, put down a sack bunt her first time up. Oh, 0-1 here to Gaudioso, trying to add on to this lead. A big air start of the inning. She puts up a bunt. It goes foul as Tully watched it the whole way. And they'll have to send the runner back. 0-2 now. An error, a walk, a caught stealing on a suicide, followed by an RBI double and a strikeout looking. The run in this inning is unearned, and all future runs would be unearned as well against Annie Thomas. Ball is flared out to right. Coming in on it is Bonilla in foul territory. Makes the play for the 3rd out, but not before Western gets an unearned run. It's 2-0 Western through 3.5. 3, 4, 5 for UMass Boston in the bottom of the fourth, looking to get some runs here against Sarah Tenke, who has now gone 5 innings on the day and given up just the 1 unearned run. That came in her first inning of work. She gave up 2 hits in 2 innings in game 1. She's given up a double and a single in 3 innings here in game 2. The Beacons have left a runner in each of the past 2 innings. Roxanne Mento takes the first pitch inside. She popped up to short to end the first. Vento with 3 doubles in game 1 and 3 RBI. She's got 32 on the season. Rips one out towards right. That'll go for a single. She's got 4 hits, 50 on the season. Roxanne Vento had 45 as a freshman. She's got 50 as a sophomore. And she's aboard with the Beacons' first leadoff base runner of game 2. See a pinch runner over there at first base. It's going to be Kayla Harris pinch running for Vento to start the 4th.
Pinch running for UMass Boston, number 10, Kayla Harris.
So the Beacons will take Vento out to put on a much faster base runner. Harris, who came on to pinch run for Vento in game number 1, is making her 20th appearance of the year. 5 for 12 with 6 runs scored coming into today.
Up to bat for the Beacons, the catcher, number 16, Gia Raskowski.
Gia Raskowski popped up Fowler first time up. Fouls the first one back. The program record holder in career doubles with 39, home runs with 12. Came in with 30 RBI, still looking for her first of the day. Gia is 0 for 3 with a run scored. Able to hold off on the high breaking ball. 1-1 here. Raskowski will be followed by Paulina and Tully. And if it gets there, Lauren Mitziaris as the Beacons look for a comeback here in the 4th against Sarah Tenke. 1-1, showing bunt, popping it up, but it'll get just far enough to get away from Kayla Jessup and Cam Geisen. 1-2. Beacons trying to catch the Colonials unawares. Instead, it forces Raskowski to swing the bat. She has worked 2 walks today and has done a great job this year hitting with 2 strikes. Fouls off so many balls that she has to be used to it. She'll take that one low, 2-2, with Harris bouncing off of first base. Bottom of the 4th inning. Western scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, and Sarah Tenke's pitched well. The 2-2 takes it just off the corner, was low as well, full count. See if Harris is off with the pitch here. They trust Raskowski enough, who's walked a lot and struck out a lot this year. Harris does have good speed. 3-2 pitch, runner's not going, hit hard to the third baseman. She'll go to second to throw in time. And what a great play by Jessup to pick up the hard grounder and then get the lead runner. That'll erase Harris on the 5-3 fielder's choice. So Harris is erased 5-4, and Gia Raskowski, who also has good speed, is over there at first base now, but with 1 out. Paulina takes a knee-high strike. Taylor popped up to the catcher in foul territory, her first at bat. Beacons trying to figure out this hard-throwing lefty. 0-1, Paulina swings through it. Quickly 0-2. Tenke is yet to throw a strikeout in game 2. Has 1 strikeout overall on the day. Paulina fouls that one off. UMass Boston with their game 1 win, now won 4 consecutive games at home. Paulina hits that one out to right. Should be playable. Going back on it is Gaudioso, and she makes the basket catch for the second out. That ball was caught up in the wind a little bit. Went deeper than I think Gaudioso originally thought, but able to track it down just short of the track. Two down now for Alyssa Tully, who ripped a double into right center in her first at bat.
Batting for the Beacons, the third baseman, number 14, Alyssa Tully.
The Beacons, with that 4th straight win, improved to 4-4 at home as that ball's ripped out to left, going back on his Lefemina, and she'll make the play. Looked like it had a chance to go, but it didn't get everything on it, and the Beacons unable to do much with the leadoff base runner. We head to the 5th. This game is flying. It's 2-0 Westcott. Top of the 5th, it'll be Tenki, Stankovic, and then the top of the order in Tori Dugan. Annie Thomas looking to make it through the 5th inning in a conference game for the first time this season. She made it through the 4th for the first time this year in the last inning. Did give up a run, but it was an unearned run after the Beacons dropped a fly ball to start off the inning. It'll be Tenki, who struck out looking to start a streak of 3 consecutive strikeouts. Tenki struck out looking to end the 2nd. Stankovic struck out looking to start the 3rd, and then Dugan struck out in her 2nd at-bat of the day. It's 1-0 to the lefty pitcher, who's pitched extremely well today. Came on in relief of Angelina Miller, who took the loss, her 4th of the season in Game 1. Ball hit hard, but it's the shortstop Braga. Picks it up, throws it across in plenty of time, and Sarah Tenki is 0 for 2 in Game 2. It'll bring up Stankovic, just spot in the lineup, and it looks like they'll stay with Stankovic, who did not have an at-bat in Game 1. Clearly is the team's top option defensively, as she came on in the bottom of the 1st inning of Game 1 as a defensive replacement. Shows bunt, Tully picks it up in plenty of time, throw across. Mitziaris is there, and Stankovic is retired 5-3 on the bunt attempt. So 2 down, and the top of the order comes up in the form of Tori Dugan. Dugan put down a bunt single, stole 2nd, advanced to 3rd on a wild pitch, and scored on Kayla Nowak's single in the 1st. Struck out looking in the 3rd, one of 4 strikeout victims for Annie Thomas, who's enjoying one of her better performances of the season. In fact, since the season opener, all the way back in early March, in a 7-2 win against Western New England, I'd say this is Thomas's best performance. That one's a little bit low. Annie's been limited by a shoulder injury that kept her out for 3 weeks. This is just her 9th appearance, 5th start. Came in with 3-0 with a 4.94 ERA after setting the program record last year with 162 in the 3rd innings pitched. 29 appearances, 27 starts, and a 13-10 record, tying the best mark for wins in a season. Her freshman teammate, Jess Greenspan, broke that a couple weeks ago. She's got 17 now, as Dugan swings and misses, and it's 2-2. Western looking for a key split before they head home for 2 against Eastern. The Beacons looking to end the season on a high note in what would be, if not their first ever doubleheader sweep of Western, certainly their second. They came in with just 3 wins all time, and I'm going to do a little bit of searching and let you know the Beacons, with just 4 wins all time against Western Connecticut State versus 38 losses, as a swing and a miss, and Dugan goes down swinging. First swinging strikeout for Thomas, 5th overall. And it's 2-0 Western Connecticut State through 4.5. Seven, 8, 9 for UMass Boston. Lauren Mitziaris, Giovanna Mania, and Gigi Braga. Looking at the all-time series, Western now leads 38-4. The Beacons lost the first 25 all-time meetings from 1997 to 2009. Then they split in 2009 on the road, split in 2010 at home, and split in 2011 at home. They've never swept the Colonials, who have traditionally been amongst, if not the top team in the LEC. Western looking for their first LEC regular season title since 2003, when they won their 3rd in a row and 4th overall. The Beacons have never finished above 5th in the conference. Looking to do a lot better than that this year. They're already stand with the best conference record in program history with 8 wins against 5 losses. This is their final LEC regular season game. And then potentially a chance to host with a win today and a lot of help. But Ciaris takes it high. We'll bring you a look around the rest of the conference after this half inning. And folks, make sure to stick with us after the conclusion of this second game for the Beacons Senior Day, as UMass Boston will honor their 3 seniors with a trot around the bases. A nice little Senior Day ceremony that I've always enjoyed watching. Certainly a little bit different than a lot of the other teams on campus, as Mitziaris takes that one at eye level and it bounces out of the glove of Geisen. 3-0 here to Mitziaris, who flew out to right to end the second. You have to figure that the Beacons will give her the red light here, trying to get a leadoff base runner. Potential 4-pitch walk. Ciaris taking, and it's low. A 4-pitch walk from Tenke. That's the first walk allowed from the freshman. And just the 4th base runner. The Beacons had a double in the second and singles in the 3rd and the 4th, and it'll bring Giovanna Bonilla to the plate. See what the Beacons do here. Down by 2 with 9 outs left. Could play some small ball here to avoid hitting into a double play. They have done that once today. Giovanna Bonilla pulls it back, thought about showing the bunt, and it's 1-0. Tenke has looked a little bit shaky to these first 2 batters. Hasn't been able to find the zone. Western has someone over in the bullpen, but no one warming yet. Just looks like a player tossing around. Might be the bullpen catcher. The 1-0 to Bonilla. Shows bunt, bunts it foul down the first base side. And don't love that decision. With Tenke having thrown 5 consecutive balls, a little bit interesting to see the Beacons giving her a strike. Bonilla was bunting there for a hit, but unable to put it fair. 1-1 now, shows bunt, bunts it foul, and now it's 1-2. So Bonilla's going to have to swing here. She grounded back to the pitcher in the 3rd. Looking to get something going right now. Runner on first is Mitziaris. Bonilla takes it, and that one just a little bit low. Looked pretty good. And the count at 2-2. 7th inning of work for Tenke, who came on for the final 2 in game 1. On the outside corner, strike 3. Bonilla not happy with it. And that's the first strikeout of game 2 for Tenke, second of the day. It'll bring Braga to the plate. Gigi hit a hard slapper through the left side underneath the glove of Plazinski, the shortstop, and stole second in the third, but was stranded there. First pitch to the shortstop, shows bunt, bunts it foul. Beacons not doing a good job right now of moving runners into scoring position. You'd love to get a nice little inning here and get your 3 and 4 hole hitters up with runners on. Braga, a check swing on a pitch at her shoulder, and it's 0-2. Gonna have to work from behind. This is pitch number 57 from Tenke, who probably threw about 20 to 25 in game 1. Still should have plenty left in the tank. 0-2 pitch, chopper foul. That'll keep her alive there. Defensive swing. And in fact, I've got the numbers for you. Tenke threw 34 pitches in game 1, 23 for strikes. So there you go. 34 plus about, right now it's about 60. She's still under 100 pitches on the day in her 7th inning of work. Braga hits it right at the shortstop. Plazinski, Mitziaris dives back in time. Braga hit it hard, but the inside-out swing right at the shortstop, and there's 2 down, and still no advancement. Bring up Kira Pressmack, still looking for that first hit of the day.
Up to bat the left fielder, number 12, Kira Pressmack.
Pressmack swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Pressmack had 6 multiple hit games in her last 7 conference games heading into today. She's 0 for on the day. Pressmack takes a pitch inside, 1-1. Kira 0 for 2 in game 2, a ground out to short, and a popped up bunt that was caught on a great play by the catcher Geising. The umpire awarding a strike there, so the count goes from 1-1 to 0-2. Pressmack fouls it off the foot of Geising. We're already through 4.5. Western trying to keep this 2-0 lead heading into the 6th. Ball is popped up. Plazinski has plenty of time. The Beacons leave a base runner on for the 4th straight inning. Time running out here for the Beacons in game 2. They have a base runner for the 4th straight inning, unable to do much with it. We head to the 6th. Western 2, UMass Boston 0. Take a look around the rest of the conference. Southern Maine took game 1. They lead game 2. If Dartmouth gets hot, if Southern Maine gets hot right now, they could be a dark horse to win the LEC regular season crown. They came into today's action at 5-5 with 4 games left. 6-5 already. If they win that second game, tons of time left. They would be at 7-5 hosting 7th place Dartmouth, who would have nothing to play for tomorrow probably. Plymouth State looks like they're on their way to a sweep. They would move to 8-6. Now the Beacons, if they lose here, would tie at 8-6, depending on the tiebreakers, which probably would include the record against Eastern. UMass Boston might lose a tiebreaker there, so the win even more important. Keene State, who started the day at 6-6, won game 1, second game tied 4-4. The Beacons desperately rooting for UMass Dartmouth to win that second game and to have something to play for tomorrow against Southern Maine. And that's the same thing with Western Connecticut State, folks. Almost all of the Beacons' rooting interests are the same as the Western rooting interests, with both teams in the top 2 right now in the conference. It'll be 2-3-4 for Western here in the 6th against Annie Thomas. Pitch is fouled off. That was pitch number 66 from Thomas. La Femina to be followed by Geising and Plazinski. La Femina popped up a bunt to the third baseman in the first, popped up in foul territory to the first baseman in the third. Trying to get on in front of the team's 3 and 4 hitters. Shows bunt, bunts it past the pitcher. Morse can't handle it, and it's an infield bunt single. As Morse couldn't get a handle on it, La Femina is on to lead off the inning. That's the second consecutive leadoff base runner for Western. Western has scored a run each time they've had a leadoff base runner here in game number 2. And a big part of that has been this 3-4-5 as Kayla Nowak, the 5-hole hitter, has a pair of hits and a pair of RBI. Cam Geisen, the team's catcher, who moved up from the 7th spot to the 3-hole. She popped up to the catcher and then flew a ball out to left that Kira Pressmack dropped, allowing the runner to reach second. That ball hit the base runner, and it's going to be foul. Umpire didn't indicate if the batter was out of the batter's box. If it is, that's an out and no advancement, and that's what they're going to talk about right now. I think this is a really good job by our home plate umpire, David Hawley, to not immediately make the decision and to ask for help from Steve Kolitz, and they are going to say that Geisen was still in the batter's box on the bunt, so it's 0-1. Geisen, not your prototypical 3-hole hitter, as they're still trying to work on that spot in the order. Cam is hitting over 400, though, so pretty good average on the year. 0-1 to her. Shows butt, pops it up. Thomas is there. And this has been a really annoying case for both teams. They've popped up a lot of bunts. I think both coaching staffs are going to work on that at Monday at practice. A big thing heading into the LEC tournament is being able to move batters and runners around. And thus far, neither team has done a great job of doing that. Annie Thomas is going to be pulled after 5 1/3 innings. She's given up 4 hits, 2 runs thus far, with the runner at first possibly charged to her, just 1 earned. Struck out 5 and issued just the 2 walks. Easily her best performance in a while, and she'll give way to Megan Homan, who has been trading starts with Thomas in game 2.
Number 6, Megan Hoban.
So Hoban has pretty good numbers. A big change in terms of speed from the much faster throwing Thomas. The freshman out of Bedford, Mass. Making her 11th appearance, just her 3rd out of the pen. 4-2 with the 3.67 ERA. 42 innings, 20 strikeouts versus 29 walks. The walks have been the issue. Hasn't been hit all that well, just an opponent's batting average of 248. 39 hits, 25 runs, 22 earned. She was roughed up yesterday, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, and a season-high 6 walks against Southern Maine. But in her previous 3 appearances, had allowed just 10 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned in 13 2/3 innings, picking up a pair of victories. So it'll bring Charlene Plazinski up, who worked a pair of walks against Thomas and scored a run in the 4th. See if Plazinski can do anything against Holman, whose first pitch is in there for a strike. This is an interesting decision by Natalia Ardagna, the Beacons head coach, and I like it. Try to change up the speeds on Plazinski. Don't give her a chance to really see Holban, and hope that Holban can retire one of the top hitters in the conference. Raskowski frames the pitch, but it looked a little bit low, and it's 1-1. Ardagna with 157 wins in her 10 seasons at UMass Boston, most in program history. Picked up her 150th win a couple weeks ago. For her career, sits with 176 wins after coaching 1 year at Simmons College, a local private school here in the Boston area. 2-1 after a pair of breaking balls. The runner at first is La Femina with good speed. Had a bunt single to the right side. Plazinski fouls it off, and that ball head right back our way off the wall. 2-2 now to the conference's leader in RBI, who's still looking for that first one of the day. Holban looks in for the sign from Raskowski. The 2-2 pitch hit out to right field. Coming in on it is Bonilla, and she'll make the play in fair territory for the second out. That's a big second out as Plazinski's retired, and now Nowak will step up. She's been the top hitter for Western in this game. An RBI single in the first, a RBI double in the 4th. Hit one to right, one to left. We'll see if she hits this one out at Taylor Paulina in center. She steps up with 2 down and a runner at first and hits that ball out to short right. Morse tracking back, makes the basket catch. And for the first time today, Western is retired. Great work from Holman. And we head to the bottom of the 6th. The Beacons will bring 2, 3, 4. A chance to get some runs here with the middle of the order. This might be the last time we see that middle of the order here at the Beacon softball field. If they don't get things going right now, who knows if the Beacons will end up high enough in the LEC regular season standings to earn that home game on Tuesday. Two, 3, 4 for the Beacons. Morse, Vento, and Raskowski. Pivotal spot for the Beacons as they try to even or potentially take their first lead in this game. Morse 0 for 2. Flew out to left and grounded it out to second on a ball that was hit up the middle. And that's where Tori Dugan is shading her. You can't see it on your screen right now, but Tori Dugan is about 4 to 5 steps to the right of the second base bag, not where you typically see a second baseman, especially on a left-handed hitter. 1-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Morris, who leads the conference in runs scored with 32, looking to get on here. She went 1 for 2 with the hit by pitch in game 1 and a run scored. Sitting right ahead of 2 of the Beacons' top RBI hitters in the conference. That one's tailing foul. Jessup under it, can't make the play, and that's huge right now. New life for Caitlin Morse as the count runs to 2-2. Jessup looked like she tripped right on the edge of the grass over there, and it's 2-2 to Morse. We'll see if she can take advantage. Tanky looks in for the sign. 2-2 pitch, high 3-2. Caitlin Camo Morse on the season does have 13 walks. 3-2 pitch, hit hard out to left. La Femina coming in on it, and she'll make the play. Alexandra's had a couple of interesting routes to the balls out there and left, but she's been able to get to pretty much every one. And there's one down here for Roxanne Vento. Vento is 4 for 6 on the day with 3 doubles and 3 RBI. Game 2 popped up to short and singled out to right where she was pinch ran for. Takes that pitch off the corner. Since she was already run for, this means that Vento, if she were to reach here and the Beacons feel like they need to run for her, it would take Vento, one of their best bats, out of the lineup. 1-0 to Vento is ripped. Plazinski can't get there. That one's going to get through. Vento's going to round. She's looking for the double. Coming in as the center fielder, and it's Vento's 4th double of the day. Numbers 15, 16, 17, and 18. And Vento is at second base with the Beacon's 2nd double of game 2. Wasn't hit all that hard, but slowed down by the outfield grass, and Vento going hard all the way. Bring up Raskowski.
Now batting
Gia popped up, foul to the first baseman, and hit into a fielder's choice. A hard hit ball to the third baseman, Jessup, who got the lead runner. Raskowski swings through the first pitch. Gia on the day has 2 walks, no hits. She's 0 for 3 against Tenke. Takes it high, 1-1. Beacons looking to tie it right here in the middle of their order up, where they've done the majority of the damage. Raskowski pops it up, looking for it, and making the play is Geis. No, she drops it! There's no catch. Cam Geisen had it and then stumbled and dropped it, and Raskowski has new life. That is a huge break for the Beacons potentially. See what Raskowski could do. In a worst-case scenario, this could be the last at-bat of her career here at home. See if she can do something better with it than pop up foul to the catcher. 1-2 pitch to Raskowski, hits it over to the shortstop. That'll at least advance the runner. The throw is high, and she did not get her foot down. It's an E6, and the Beacons have 2 runners aboard with 1 out. So just that bobble by the catcher in foul territory puts 2 runners on, and that's the first error for Western here in game number 2 after they committed 4 in game 1. And there's some real pressure here on Sarah Tenke as the entire team will meet at the mound with 1 down and runners at the corners. Vento running in front of Plazinski. I don't think it really impacted the shortstop, but then Raskowski going hard the whole way. And the throw high enough to drive Nowak off the bag, and Raskowski just barely able to beat it out. So runners at the corners with 1 down for Taylor Paulina. Remember, last year the Beacons needed a Game 2 win on Senior Day to get into the LEC tournament. They had a big 6th inning to take down Plymouth State. See if they can do the same here against Western. First pitch to Paulina, hit hard. The second baseman bobbles it. Dugan can't get it to the second base bag, and it's a 2-1 game as Vento comes in to score. So the Beacons get 1 back. It's 2-1 as Heather Stone will meet with her entire team right now at the circle. It's an error on Dugan, her 3rd of the day, 2nd consecutive error on the Colonials. All the runs in this inning will be unearned, but the Beacons able to cut the deficit to 2-1, and now they have the tying run at second, the go-ahead run at first. Good speed at both bags in Raskowski and Paulina for Alyssa Tully, who's hit the ball well today. Double to right center in the 2nd, and a fly out to left in the 4th. Western now has 6 errors on the day. They came in last in the conference in fielding percentage, and it's showing here in the 6th. Tully takes the first pitch, fouls it back over the stop. 2-1 Western leads here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Beacons, a double, an error by the shortstop, an error by the second baseman to get their first run home. Tully pops another one foul. This one will get over the stop on the right field side, and it's 0-2 to the Beacon sophomore third baseman at a lull. Her brother is having a good game over at Monin Park to the left. He's through 5 scoreless as the Beacons baseball team leads 2-0 against Plymouth. 0-2 pitch is hit to the third baseman. Jessup makes the play, the throw across. It's an inning-ending double play, and the Beacons get 1, but feel like they could have gotten a lot more. We head to the 7th. UMass Boston trails 2-1. Take a look around Beaconville before the 7th. We've already talked about a lot of these before. Lacrosse defeating Southern Maine 14-9. Baseball, still a lot of time left in that game, but potentially on their way to their their ninth conference win of the season. They currently stand at 8-3. Alyssa Tully's brother Matt Tully has pitched extremely well in that second game. Men's tennis still trying to get a score. It's 7-2. The Beacons tennis team wins. So they finish off the LEC season with a perfect 6-0. And the Beacons track and field team has already won 6 gold medals at the LEC championships. Top of the 7th for Western. They'll go 6-7-8 as Megan Holman looks to keep Western at just the 2 runs. And the Beacons hope to potentially walk off or at least tie it in the bottom of the 7th. The Beacons desperately trying to get this sweep in what would be their first ever sweep of Western and what would be a huge sweep in terms of LEC tournament implications. Sophia Palacios to be followed by Jenna Gaudioso and Sarah Tenke. Palacios lined out to short to start the second, and struck out looking in the 4th. On the day, the transfer is 1 for 4 with a sacrifice fly. The team's lone RBI in game 1. Game 2, it's been Kayla Nowak with a pair of RBI hits to give Weston the lead. Scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th. The Beacons countered with an unearned run in the 6th. Megan Holman is on for her first full inning of work. Came on with the runner on first and 1 out in the 6th. Got a fly out to right and a pop up to second to alleviate potential run scoring opportunity. 2-1 here to Palacios out of San Fernando, California. Team's designated player. Pitch is hit out to left, going back on it is Pressmack, camps under it, and she'll make the play for the first out of the 7th inning. Palacios got a lot of it, but not enough to put it over the head of Pressmack, who has a ton of speed out there and left.
Right fielder number 10, Jenna Gaudioso.
Jenna Gaudioso to be followed by Sarah Tenke and Brittany Stankovic. Gaudioso, the right fielder, put down a bunt and was retired by the pitcher Thomas in the 2nd, and then flew out in foul territory to end the threat in the 4th. Shows bunt, hits it right back to Holman. No one covering, thrown to Morse. It's thrown away, and it's going to allow the runner to advance to second base as no one covered there. Holman made the right play and then threw it away because there was no one there, and that's a big-time mistake by the Beacons defense. So it's a hit for Stankovic and an error on the throwing error, allowing Stankovic to advance to second, and we're going to see a pinch hitter for Sarah Tenke. It'll be 28, Erica Bauer, the freshman out of Hillsborough, New Jersey.
Number 28, Erica Bauer.
And that run out at second is huge right now for Western. Chance to push the lead back to 2. Bauer, as there's a ton of dirt that came into the plate area, into the press box and the batter's box, and seems to have calmed down a little bit with the wind as everybody just took a face full of dirt there, and for some, a mouthful and eyeful. 1-0 to Bauer, who was the valedictorian in her high school, 2-time all-conference player at Hillsborough, making her 24th appearance, 10 for 42. Holman is throwing a pair of balls to start the at-bat, as Bauer is pinch hitting for the pitcher Tenke in the 8th spot. Have to figure that Tenke's going to come on for the 7th the way she's been pitching. Just the 2 unearned runs in 8 innings of action. Ball's fouled off. 2-1 now with 1 out. Gaudioso out there at second. There's a swing and a miss from Bauer. Two and two to the pinch hitter. UMass Boston trying to get out of this half inning, get around the mistake in the throwing error, and then get the bats back up there. 2-2 with the runner at second. Ball's hit into right field. Going back on it is Bonilla and gets under. No, she drops it. Bonilla drops it. The runner will round third. Morse is throwing to the plate. It's going to be close. The tag is there in time. The throw to third, and it's not a double play. It's going to be an E on the right fielder, and then a 9-4-2 throw out at the plate as Caitlin Morse gets her second assist at the plate, and the Beacons keep it at 3-1. So Bonilla unable to make the catch in right, but the Beacons avoid giving up the run on their second error, as a great job by Bauer to never stop, and she's at third base. We're going to get another pinch hitter. Brittany Stankovic is going to be replaced here by Amanda Gonzalez, who came on in the seventh of game number 1 in a much different situation with her team down 5-1. And Gonzalez was retired in her lone at bat. She's up here in a big spot, 2 outs, runner on third with their team leading by a single run. A huge throw there by Morse and a great tag to retire Gaudioso, trying to score from second. Oh and 1 here to Gonzalez. 0-1 pitch is high. Amanda out of Putnam Valley, New York, spent her freshman year at Fairleigh Dickinson, sophomore year at Dutchess Community College before transferring to West Conn this year, making her 19th appearance, 4 for 21, 2 for her last 13. Pitch is just a bit inside. The Beacons fans hoping for a strike. Instead it goes the other way, 2-1. She did have an RBI hit the other day against Manhattanville in game number 2 of a non-conference doubleheader split. Hoban looking in. 2-1 with the runner on third, and Western leading 2-1. That one maybe a little bit low, 3-1, with the leadoff hitter Tori Dugan awaiting on deck. See if Amanda Gonzalez gets the green light here. Hoban gets this sign. 3-1 pitch, foul back. It's a full count. Gaudioso at third. Rather, Bauer at third, the pinch hitter. As her ball was dropped by Bonilla, and on the throw home, Bauer never stopped, moved all the way to third. The Beacons got the lead runner, Gaudioso, at the plate. 3-2 pitch hit out into center. Paulina coming in, and she's going to make the play in right center field. So the Beacons avoid giving up a run thanks to a great relay throw from Morse and a nice play by Paulina. The Beacons need 1 to tie, 2 to win it. It'll be 7-8-9 in the bottom of the 7th as the Beacons look for a huge doubleheader sweep. Trio of changes between the two teams. Western Connecticut State will re-enter Tenke, go figure, back into the circle, and Brittany Stankovic is back out there in center. One change for the Beacons. Ari Bellata, who we saw taken out of game 1 due to a back injury, is going to pinch hit for Giovanna Bonilla, hitting second in this inning. It's Lauren Mitziaris, one of the Beacons' 3 seniors, followed by Ari Bellata as a pinch hitter, and then Gigi Braga, at least to start. The Beacons need 1 to tie, 2 or more to walk off. Mitziaris takes the first pitch strike from Sarah Tenke. Second pitch, a rise ball high, 1-1. Lauren has flown out to right to end the second and walked to lead off the fifth. One and one to the senior out of Taunton. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Tenke doesn't have many strikeouts today, just 2 in 8+ innings. See what Mitziaris can do here. 1-2 pitch off the corner, 2-2. Beacons looking for some senior day magic here in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 pitch hit hard, and Blazinski can't make the grab. It's a leadoff single for Lauren Mitziaris, and the Beacons are in business here in the 7th. The Beacons will throw a pinch runner out there at first base. It's Chaselyn Bergio, the junior out of Quincy, Mass., replacing Mitziaris, one of the Beacons' top pinch runners. Bergio on the season, making her 15th appearance, has 6 runs scored. She and Kayla Harris are the go-to pinch runners. Harris has already been used in this one. Ari Bellata stepping in, went 4 for 4 yesterday in game 1. Or in game 2. Today she's been limited to just 2 at-bats, reached on an error, and then grounded into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play when she hurt her back. Steps up, shows bunt, gets it down. This is going to be a difficult play. Jessup falling, able to make the play as Bellata dives into second. Bergio moves up, and the Beacons have the tying run at second on the 5-3 sack bunt. So 1 down, and the tying run at second for Gigi Braga. Braga's hit the ball hard in both of her at-bats against Tenke here in game 2. A single under the glove of the shortstop, and a hard line out to the shortstop. Braga, a ton of speed, could try to bunt here for a hit. Jessup's in at third. First baseman Nowak isn't in that far. 0-1 pitch taking with the rise ball, 1-1. Kira Pressmack having a conversation right now with the Beacons' first base coach, Sue Killalay, top hitter in program history, trying to give her some tips. Pressmack in the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch. Braga takes it inside, 2-1. Nearly caught her. The outfield is way in right now on Braga. It would be difficult to score a run if it got to the outfield unless it's over the head of an outfielder. Bergio at second base, the pinch runner. 2-1 here to Braga with 1 down. Half-hearted cut, and it's 2-2. Runner on second. 1 out, 2-2 count. The Beacons trail 2-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch is hit over to the third baseman. Jessup bobbles it. Bergio will advance, and the Beacons have runners at the corners on the 3rd error in the last 2 innings on the Colonials. See Heather Stone forced to come out and have another conference with her team. She did it last inning after the errors allowed the Beacons to score a run, and now trying to keep the Beacons at 1. The Beacons have scored 3 of their 8 runs today on errors by Western, and right now a meeting between the Beacons' 3 coaches, Natalia Ardagna, Josh Bartley, and Sue Killalay, and the base runners and hitters. It's Kira Pressmack at the plate. The Beacons have Chasen Bergiou at third, J.G. Bragg at first, Caitlin Morse awaiting on deck. Pressmack has been phenomenal this season in conference play, but she struggled today. She's 0 for 3 in game 2. A ground out to short, a popped-up bunt that the catcher Geisen made a diving play on, and a pop-up to short. She left quite a few on base here in game 2. In game 1, she reached on an error by the shortstop Jessup, popped up to the pitcher, grounded out to first, and reached on a fielder's choice. 0 for 7 on the day. She does have a pair of runs scored. We'll see what Pressmack, the Houston, Texas native, can get done right here. Runners at the corners. It's one out. Swings through that one, and they're going to say that she got a piece of it as it got in and out of the glove of the catcher Geisen. Big spot on Senior Day. Both teams' fans can feel the pressure. Infielders in at the corners. 0-1 pitch. Hits to the shortstop. Klaczynski's going to go to second, and the Beacons do not score the run. Bergio waiting, and it's going to be the senior captain, Caitlin Morris, with a little bit of pressure on her shoulders right now after the fielder's choice. That's a big out at second. Klaczynski going the short way, and it avoided allowing Bergio to score, as Bergio could have been thrown out by the second baseman Dugan if she tried to go there. And it means that if Morse singles here, the Beacons likely will only get the tying run. First pitch to Camo is high for ball 1. Bergio still at third. Pressmack with great speed at first. Caitlin Morse still looking for that first hit of this game. 0 for 3 with a pair of flyouts to left and a ground out to second. Takes it high. 2-0. If Morse were to reach here, Roxanne Vento awaits on deck. She has 5 hits on the day, including 4 doubles. It's really who you want up at any point, but especially with runners on. The 2-0 from Tenke. Morse taking, and it's at the knees for strike 1. 2-1. Huge spot. Not just for this game, but for the entire LEC. 2-1 to Morse. Hits it, and Miller makes the catch. What a stab. And Western Connecticut State earns the split. Disappointing for UMass Boston. They finished with the most LEC wins in regular season history. And now the Beacons will celebrate their seniors. UMass Boston falls just a bit short in game 2, falling by a 2-1 score. We'll bring you the Senior Day ceremony in just a second, and we'll have all the LEC standings at the conclusion of tomorrow around 6 p.m. Can't tell you much right now. There's still 4 games to be played, Eastern and Western tomorrow, Southern Maine and Dartmouth as well. So right now we'll take a moment, and then we'll bring you the Senior Day ceremony here from the UMB softball field, as the Beacons will honor their 3 seniors after they huddle up out there in right field.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, UMass Boston Softball would like to recognize the 3 members of the class of 2017. The 3 members of this year's class have been starters from day one and have turned into 3 of the most successful players in program history. This class has played a huge role in helping UMass Boston turn the program around from a cellar dweller to a team that has been fighting for the top spot in the LEC all spring long. They have compiled 62 wins coming into today and have helped UMass Boston make back-to-back Little East Conference tournaments. Our first senior to be honored this afternoon is number 19, Lauren Mitziaris. From the first day she stepped on campus, Lauren has established herself as one of the top defensive players in program history. In 4 years at first base, Lauren has posted the top fielding percentage in program history at .980 and ranks a second in career putouts and total chances. She has also improved as a hitter with each season and has become a middle-of-the-order bat for her final 3 years. That improvement paid off last season when Lauren was named to the LEC second team for the first time. Lauren entered today's action in the top 10 in program history with 134 career games played, 73 RBI, and 24 career doubles. Lauren has had a flair for the theatrics throughout her career with 2 walk-off hits and the game-winning RBI in the 6th inning against UMass Dartmouth in the LEC tournament last spring. A communications major with a minor in psychology, hailing from Taunton, Mass., number 19, Lauren Mitziaris. Lauren is joined by her parents, Anna and George, and her brother, John. Our second senior to be recognized this afternoon is number 16, Gia Razkowski. One of, if not the top power hitter in program history, Gia has been a consistent bat in the middle of the Beacons order for all 4 seasons. She will leave the Beacons Harbor campus as the program record holder in doubles with 39, and she currently stands tied for first with her 11 career home runs. A catcher by trade, Gia has split time the past 2 seasons behind the plate and in right field and has shown off her ability to be a plus defender at both positions. A complete 5-tool player, Gia has mixed her power with a career .333 batting average and 15 stolen bases. She sits in the top 5 in program history with her 406 career at-bats, 84 runs scored, 135 hits, 74 RBI, and 220 total bases. Gia is enjoying a career senior year with a .388 batting average and a career high 39 hits and 30 runs batted in. A criminal justice and sociology major with a minor in psychology, hailing from Stoneham, Massachusetts, number 16, Gia Razkowski. Gia is joined by her parents, Marisa and Bill. this afternoon is number 7, Caitlin Kamo Morse. A 4-year starter and 2-year captain, Kamo has been a workhorse playing in 141 games, the 4th most in program history. She will go down as one of the top leadoff hitters and one of the best middle infielders in program history. A consummate team first player, Kamo played her first 2 seasons at shortstop before moving over to second base. She ranks in the top 5 in program history in career at-bats with 454, 91 runs scored, 34 hits, and 50 walks. She also stands second in program history with her 263 career assists. Morris enjoyed her best statistical season a year ago when she was named to the Little East Conference first team. This season she leads the entire LEC with her 32 runs scored and ranks towards the top of the conference in walks and stolen bases. An early childhood education major with a concentration in early intervention, hailing from Arlington, Mass, number 7, Caitlin Morse. Caitlin is joined by her parents, Kathy and Bob. How about one more round of applause for the UMass Boston Softball class of 2017.